just going to speak to Morad again. Morad, HPE MLOps was launched last year, and you know, it said it was bringing DevOps agility to the ML machine learning model lifecycle. It promised to accelerate AI deployments from months to days. I think that was the real standout thing from what I was saying. So what sort of impact has it had since its introduction, and how's it resonated with the market? Can you just give us a little bit of an overview on its impact since its introduction last year?
Yeah, so at the beginning, I just want to highlight that artificial intelligence and machine learning, as you know, the use cases that we see in every day in the news, that's affecting many aspects of our life. And it's the next step of automation. You know, with the old days, we were defining certain processes, allowing the machines to execute certain tasks on our behalf. But at the end, we are deciding. We are defining the steps and the machine just to execute. That's it, not more, not less. With artificial intelligence, we are allowing the machine the possibility to digest by itself, to analyze certain data, and conclude a new style of operations, a new further steps that can be done in a much efficient way compared with what we can define for it. Yeah. This takes this automation to the next level, and that's why it's supporting a lot actually to have a better, efficient operation and getting the results that we are expecting in a much faster way. That was great, but at the same time, we need to understand there are multiple challenges for organizations to fulfill and to adapt to these new solutions that use AI and machine learning. One of the main challenges is the skill set. Are we ready from a knowledge point of view, from operation point of view, to adapt a new AI solution in our organization? What type of knowledge we need to have? What type of hands-on? What type of new profiles or job functions we need to introduce so that we can inherit and import such solutions? The second big challenge is the data itself. You know, AI relies a lot on data. Without providing the proper information to the machine, it cannot learn. It cannot be trained. While most of the data that's available now is scattered. It's available in different silos, and we need to aggregate and get all of this data and create a link between these different sources of data to make sure that the machine can learn in a comprehensive way, understanding the whole environment so that decisions and conclusions will be more accurate. So this is another big challenge. The third challenge is related to the operational side. So as per Gartner, 60% of the AI piloting project never gets into production. Why is that? Because usually we start by a POC or a pilot for an idea, that's a use case for AI. We like it, and we see good output that we can get. However, moving that test or sandbox environment to production is a nightmare, because AI, again, relies on data, would like to have a lot of touch points or integration points with different applications and services in the organization, which make this move so much difficult. And if we link it with the complex and with a shortage of the skill set, this will never end. So all of these challenges, we understand it, and we are trying to support our customer in that. The last main challenge was related to most of this new style of projects that rely on new technologies or niche technologies like maybe blockchain, AI, big data, IoT. We require a heavy investment, but the outcomes are not clear for this organization. So the business case cannot be built strongly from day one, because they need to spare some time while they are in production to test the tangible outcomes that they are getting, and accordingly tune and change. Based on these four main challenges, again, we want to be relevant to our customers, and we build our solution, which is we call the MLOps, AI MLOps. This solution covers all of these challenges in a comprehensive way. Starting by, first of all, understanding the life cycle of a machine learning project. The first step by getting the data. After that, selecting the right AI models which the stage of the build, we call it the build. Moving from the build to the deployment, and deployment emphasize on getting the move from the testing to the production. Then later on, having a monitoring processes that will keep an eye on how the AI module executing and how to keep it up to date with whatever changes happening to the organization or to the environment. Based on that, our solution actually fulfill 4 main stacks. The first one is the advisory services. So before discussing technologies, we want to make sure we have a direct link between all these initiatives that the customer is trying to drive with his business needs. If there is no direct link, no need for that. We start seeing some customers are asking us for AI solution. And our first big question for them, AI for what? How it can help you? What is the tangible outcome? Absolutely. So it's not just for the sake of ticking the box that I have an AI implementation. It's for what? And our advisory services are engaged in the very early stages with the customer to digest, to understand more, to analyze his environment, and make sure that whatever technologies he will get on board will support his businesses. After passing that stage, and we recognize that AI is the best fit for the case or the business challenge that he's facing, we developed that stack of AI and machine learning ops. So it's bringing a DevOps operation and orchestration to the AI development and operation. Basically, it covers the life cycle of getting the right, selecting the right module. The solution contains different modules, frameworks of AI. Most of it is open source, but well integrated in with the orchestration layer that is available within the solution, allowing the customer to choose, pick and choose whatever will suit the case that he's trying to build. Then later on, registering the different versioning of these modules. So this means I will know which module and which version I used to train my machine, which set of data I used during that training. So later on, my environment expand and I have a new set of data. I have the full registry and repository that shows all these details that was used in the initial deployment. So that easily I can move it to a further step by adapting a new style of data, a new type of data, so that my AI module becomes more accurate. So all of these processes are well defined in the machine learning ops solution that we have in HPE, starting from adaptive infrastructure. So we have different flavors, and that infrastructure spans from edge to cloud, depending on the use case. Sometimes this AI will need a deployment within the edge site itself, or sometimes it's inside the data center. So we have the full-fledged of solutions that can cover both. Then we have the orchestration layer, which is based on Blue Data mainly, and Kubernetes. So we have a tight integration between both of them to provide that orchestration and that automation that is needed. Then the different AI framework and modules will integrate it within the solution itself. So as you can see, we are covering the full cycle and making the move between the testing or the training phase to the production phase much more smoother. Not only that, even after getting into the production, we are making sure we are keeping an eye, you have the right tools and the governance to make sure later on, if the data get changed, the use case need to be tuned, the tuning and the update for these up and running modules will be again a straightforward exercise rather than spending a huge amount of time on that. So what is the benefit out of all of this? So customers can move quickly from testing to production while taking into consideration all the previous factors that I just explained. And he will not end up by a real surprises once he faces the real reality. All of this will be taken into consideration from the phase one while we are designing. Then he has the full automation tools that will support him to do this transition in a smoother way. At last, Bridging all of these gaps is great, but at the end, it's all about financials. So how he can consume, how he can build it, and later on start paying once he start getting the right tangible outcomes. With the Green Lake, with the consumption models, we are helping the customer to fill that second gap or the third gap. We build the solution with him, we make it into production without any problem, and he start paying per consumption. Once the utilization becomes higher and higher, this means he's getting more attraction about the solution and he's getting the right result, then he start paying their utilization. So as you can see, the solution is covering all the gaps that a normal AI environment will face.